In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily install this key lock switch on just about any electric bike for about $15 using the components shown here. A link to all these components is below in the description, and I'll show you how to install this very easily, and I'm not going to cut any of the factory cables. I'm going to use what's shown here, and you could always revert back to the factory setup. But before we get started on this install, I hope you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and let's get after it. The first thing I want to do is make sure that this extension piece is compatible with both of these e-bikes that I own. So what I'm going to do is make sure that the battery is off. I'm going to follow the cable from the back of the screen down here to the factory wire harness. You're going to see this green connector here. I'm going to disconnect it. I'm going to go ahead and connect this extension piece and connect it to both ends. And then I'm going to power on the battery, power on the bike, make sure that everything is functioning. Let's see, motor works great and everything is functioning. All the pedal assist modes, everything is as expected. And I'll check it on the second bike and then I'll start the install procedure. So the first thing I want to do is strip off the sheathing on this 5-pin Juliet extension piece. And I'm going to use a razor blade and just go slow, and you want to just slide back the sheathing for about a 1-inch section, about mid-span, to expose the wires. All right, now you can see that I have the wires exposed here. And then what I want to do is pick out the blue wire. I probably want to peel this back a little bit more to give me some room to work with. Now in this wire harness, the blue line represents the power from the controller to the display, and it's only about 4 to 5 volts. So it's low voltage, and I can use this key lock switch that I'm going to splice in. What I'm going to do is cut the blue line, and I want to strip these wires. Very fine gauge. You can use this tool, it's pretty neat. It strips wires pretty easily, like that. Then the other side. There, I have that wire stripped, both sides. And then over here, I'm going to do the same. Pull back that sheathing like that. Now these individual wires, I want to go ahead and strip those out. There, I have the copper exposed. Do the same here. All right, so now I have that. If you have a heat gun or a lighter, you can use these solder and seal connectors. You just simply put the wire in each end, and then you use a lighter or a heat gun to heat this up, and it melts the solder, and it's definitely weatherproof. So if you're not comfortable with these solder and seal connectors, you can use these lever connectors, which are really easy to use. You just simply drop the lever and it connects the wire. So I'm going to put the red in the orange slot and the black in the blue slot like that. And I'm going to drop the lever. There you have it. It's connected. And now I'm going to come over here to this wire harness. I'm going to do the same. This side really doesn't matter, but I'm going to essentially take the 2 blue wires and put it in line like that. I'm going to put it in there. And now I have my wire harness like this. Everything is connected. I might put some weatherproofing around this, but before we go ahead and do all that, let's make sure everything is operational. I got my wire harness that I created. I'm going to test it. I'm going to make sure that the battery is off. I'm going to disconnect these green cables up here and then plug them in. So now that I got the wire harness installed, I'm going to go ahead and turn the battery on, and then I'm going to go ahead and turn the bike on. You can see that the power doesn't work because I need to turn the key lock on, which I did. Now the bike should power up. There it powers up. I'm going to make sure that the pedal assist mode work. Everything's working as desired. And if I want to secure the bike, I can simply turn the bike off, remove the key, take this with me. I'll still probably lock the bike up, but it's nice that someone can't turn on the bike and throttle and kill my battery. So everything's working good. Let's go ahead and check this with my JC on. Go ahead and plug the wire harnesses in, follow the back of the screen down. All right, let's power this up. The key is off. I'm going to go ahead and turn the battery on. Then I'm going to turn the power on, and you're going to see nothing turns on. I'm going to go ahead and turn the key on, and then the screen should power up. There we have it. The screen powered up. Let's make sure pedal assist mode 5, everything is working and operational. Everything works good. Now, if I turn this off, one thing that I noticed is that you start to throw an error code 30 because it's not getting the proper communication. So I recommend before turning the bike off, power the button down over here, then power the key lock switch out and take the key with you. So I'm going to go ahead and install this key lock switch right here inside of the shifter, but I need to remove the throttle, the brake, and the shifter. I think it'll be nicely positioned there. I'm going to go ahead and do so. But first thing I'm going to do is loosen up the shifter. You want to make sure that you have a good Phillips head screwdriver, and you're going to reach down under here. It's easy to strip that out. You can see I'm going to pull that back, and then I'm going to use a 5mm to loosen the brake lever. Go ahead and remove this throttle. Go ahead and remove the throttle off the end by twisting it like this. You're going to see that everything else wants to come with it. There, I got the throttle off. I'm going to go ahead, remove the brake. Might need to turn this. Cables are pretty stretched out. Just reaches. And then the 7-speed just reaches for the 7-speed. Now that I got that removed, I'm going to go ahead and install my key lock. There's a 3mm hex right here. I'm going to loosen that up so that this slides on. I'm going to go ahead and leave it loose for right now. I'm going to go ahead and reinstall the shifter. Like that. Go ahead and reinstall the brake. And then last but not least, the throttle. Get this all situated on here. Go ahead and reinstall my brake. Brake on there. Then I'm going to go ahead, tighten my shifter back down. Last but not least is the key lock. Now, there's a little bit of interference with the housing of the shifter. I'm going to go ahead and use a 3mm hex to tighten that down. That's tightened down. Everything's installed. Now, I suggest leaving one of these keys at home because if you lose both of them, then you're going to have to need a new key lock. You can see I have this extra wiring from the cable. What I might want to do is secure this with some weatherproof tape, and then I'm going to hide it inside this harness here. So I'm going to go ahead and tuck all this in. You could even go ahead and wrap this like this. Put some zip ties on here if you want, but for the time being, I'm just going to tuck this into the bag like this. Looks pretty good. Go ahead and clean that up. Now, if I really want to do this, I've used this cable sheathing. A link to this product is below. I can put this on there like that and really get this cleaned up. If you need to, you can put a zip tie on there, but it keeps it nice and clean. But that concludes the installation. I hope that you liked this video. Subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, please leave in the comments, and thanks for watching.